In our country, when a baby is born, the first thing is to give a name to him. Name Day is actually the celebration of the patron. When the child gets named, the patron is chosen. We celebrate not only birthdays, but name days too. Moreover, there are names which can be celebrated more than once a year. This day, all relatives and friends come together to wish him joy and give presents to him. In fact, our first name is the second one, because Hungarian family names stand in front of the given name. It is very unique in Europe. Hungarian names have mainly Latin and Greek origins, but others may come from different languages, such as German, Slavic, or Hebrew. For example, Márton derives from the Latin Martinus, or András comes from the Greek Andreas. János derives from the Hebrew Yohanan. In our collection, we introduce some famous people having these names. Many of them were saints, but there are kings, historical characters, popes, and poets in it as well. For example, we wrote about Saint Medardus, who was said to have once been sheltered from rain by an eagle which hovered over him. Or there is Saint George, who faced the dragon, protected himself with the sign of the cross, slew it, and rescued the princess. Saint Lucy, also known as Saint Lucia, is the patron saint of those who are blind. In art, her eyes sometimes appear on a plate that she is holding. There are kings, for example, our first king, Stephen. He discouraged pagan customs and strengthened Christianity with various laws. He ordered that each 10 villages had to build a church. The king's right hand, known as the Holy Right, is kept as a relic. Our great king was Matthias I. He was elected king by the Diet. This was the first time in Hungarian kingdom that a member of the nobility without royal ancestry became king. The fact that he kept the barons in check made him very popular. Songs and tales converted him into Matthias the Just, the most popular hero of Hungarian folklore. His portrait appears on the 1,000 forint note. We mentioned our 2 excellent poets. They were contemporaries and friends. Sándor Petőfi was a national poet of Hungary and a key figure in the Hungarian Revolution of 1848 and 49. Among the various leaders of the revolution called Youth of March, Petőfi was the main character in starting the revolution in Pest. His friend was János Arany. He was a Hungarian journalist, writer, poet, and translator. He is often said to be the Shakespeare of ballads. He wrote more than 40 ballads, which have been translated into over 50 languages, as well as the Tordy trilogy. He translated 3 dramas of Shakespeare into Hungarian. He wrote a poem about the tale of the 500 Welsh bards, in which he criticized the tyrannical Habsburg rule over Hungary. In Hungary, interesting folk customs belong to the most popular first names. Some of them talk about love prophecies and some are related to performances, but most of them deal with weather auguries. Let's see some love prophecies. Andrew's Day is the most significant marriage augury day. Girls hid men's clothes under their pillow and they fasted all day. The common prophecies mostly happened in the spinner, with lead casting and dumpling cooking. A male name was hidden in each dumpling. The first, which came up to the top of the water, contained her future husband's name. They tried to prophesy the future husband's job from the lead casting. On Barbaras Day, a fruit branch was put into water, and if it bloomed until Christmas Day, marriage was prophesied for the girl. On Peter and Paul's Day, the folk custom believes who first hears chimes this day will get married by the end of the year. Plays are performed, for example, on Gergely's Day when school children walked in the town or village and they knocked at every door. The purpose of this tradition was make children who didn't go to school attend school. The host invited them into the house, offered seats for them and gave eggs, money and bacon to the children. They could keep the money, and the teacher kept the eggs and others. A dramatic play called Zsuzsanna's Play was popular. Children walked from house to house to perform it. In it, Zsuzsanna was bathing, and two old men watched her. She was arrested, but with the help of an intelligent young judge, she was freed. Kotyolás happened at the dawn on Luca's Day. Some young boys were chanting their good wishes for wealth and rich harvests. On the feast day of St. Blaise, schoolboys knocked into the neighborhood to take up gifts, grease, bacon, bean, and eggs, which later were handed over their poor teacher. Weather prophecies are very common in Hungarian folklore. It is commonly believed that if there is frost on Katalin's Day, then there will be mud at Christmas. Or if it rains on Medard's Day, it will rain for 40 days. There is a nice story connected to the beginning of spring. After the long winter, St. Peter sent warmth onto the earth in a sack with Sándor. Sándor went ambling along, but got very tired under the weight of warmth. He vainly dried his forehead, loosened his dresses, but he remained thirsty and tired. He looked round, he noticed a tap next to the Milky Way. To have a little rest, he put down his sack and began to have some drink. In the meantime, his eyelids weighted with sleep, and he fell asleep. St. Peter had enough of the people's prayer after warmth, and sent Joseph to look for Sándor. After searching and searching, he finally found Sándor in a tap. After a glass of wine, he forgot why he had been sent to. Old Peter sent away the third one.
Go, my son Benedek, and look after where these two rogues can be on the loose.
But the same happened to Benedek like to the others, because good wine was unmeasured in the tap next to the Milky Way. St. Peter was waiting when a warmth would reach the earth. He looked down from heaven, but saw the three pious wanderers nowhere. He became very angry and sent Matthias to the earth, but this time he gave him a lash. Matthias found them very soon in the tap, because they were having a very good time and they could be heard from a long distance. When the three cheerful pals caught sign of Matthias with a lash in his hand, they left quickly and hurried onto the earth with a sack of warmth. Suddenly, the weather became warm and everything melted. That is why Matthias is called the icebreaker. The closest to the children's and our heart and the most living folklore belongs to Nicholas Day. In Hungary, children put their boots into the window on the night of December the 5th. Saint Nicholas fills the boots with gifts and sweets, and at the same time he checks if the children were good, polite, and helpful in the year. If they were not, they would have a birch called virgács in their boots instead. In our school, one of the teachers puts on the red coat and gives little presents to the children every year. This can be seen in the photo.